Welcome to Fans of Africa, where we celebrate sports by giving fans a voice. My name is Christian Crestan Nkoramba, and in today's episode, I've paid a visit to a fan who loves athletics as well as rugby. His name is Fidelis Magama, as we get to know what makes him enjoy the sport. Fidelis, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
How is everything?
We're holding on. We're doing well.
Oh, you're doing well?
Yeah.
Well, I want to start by knowing you. Who is Fidelis Magama? Where did you go to school? How did you start being involved in sporting activities?
Okay. Well, primary school I went to Hatfield Primary School, and high school I went to Churchill Boys High. How did I get involved in sports? When I was in primary, well, our house is just behind the house is a golf course. So before they extended the golf course, we had a little soccer pitch. And from an early age, I would just make the numbers. I'd be the goalie, making up the numbers, and they would kick the ball at me. And so eventually I started actually being able to play the game as I grew older. But I was a lazy sports person in primary school.
Why would you say you were a lazy person?
No, I was, because I was. I wasn't really into the sports, but I found out that I was actually getting better in most sports. So I did, in primary, I did soccer, cricket, and yeah, those are the two sports that I sort of enjoyed doing in primary, but practice was another thing altogether.
Okay. Well, so when did you start doing soccer, like getting to the school team as well as getting to cricket in the school team as well?
Well, grade 5, they picked me for some reason, like I said, and then slowly I started sort of getting into it and enjoying it after they picked me up for the school team Colts. And then grade 6, grade 7, I made the first team soccer, which was a big achievement for me. And I would come and sleep in my jersey, after the game. Like, you see this? Somebody actually says I can play soccer. So that's how I sort of slowly got into it. And then by proximity, every now and again would pass through these noisy high schools, and I had an older uncle who dabbled in soccer and rugby as well. So every time we passed through, I'd hear war cries, and I'd be like, Papa, what's all this noise about? So by grade 7, I was very curious as to, okay, what's the fuss about high school sports? So when I ended up going to Churchill, which was by default, because I was very academic in primary. So when I went to Churchill, I was like, okay, might as well try everything else. So I tried all sports: tennis, cricket, basketball, and I actually found that I actually had an aptitude for,
So,
yeah.
Of all the sports that you've mentioned, can you give me your top 3 favorite sport of all time? Just 3. Okay,
Top 3.
Make it 4.
4.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll actually show you with struggling.
Yeah, you're putting me in a corner.
Okay, put it 4.
Rugby. I'll never say rugby.
In no particular order, just rugby. Okay.
Yeah, no particular order. I'd have to say soccer. And third one. It's difficult to choose between. I'll say cricket. And basketball. Okay.
So let's talk about now, when it comes to soccer or in other teams, do you have something that you're still holding on to, maybe a favorite team up to now, as a family person? Or maybe you're not a family person, but I see you have a kid. So yes, of course,
I'm a family man.
Yes. So right now, which teams do you make your time glued to?
Well, I'm a long time Dynamos fan, Dumbara fan. Kind of.
Okay.
I actually went for under 13 trials.
For Dynamos?
For Dynamos.
Okay, how did that go?
No, it was very interesting. Me coming from the suburbs and meeting up the boys, and they really had a field day with my toes. But
yeah. No shade, but I honestly feel like the day you went for the trials from the uptown, stamina wise, no, stamina wise, yeah, you realize yeah, you're in a different league. Yeah. So how did that end then?
Well, I wanted to do, like I said, I was more academic. So, that was an incidental. My mom made it as a joke. Go. And so I went with my uncles and them. So, and I actually didn't do too badly. But the follow-up was like, look, no, I'm not really going that way. So nobody actually pushed me in that direction. So that's how it fell away. But I made the squad. I made the squad.
Squad.
Yeah.
Okay, you made the squad.
But,
Okay,
yeah.
so can we talk of other activities that you tried? Maybe now, Makura, apart from the high school memories,
Yeah.
have you ever ventured into sport? Maybe gone to Borema Buza and stuff.
Oh yeah. Off. Buza always.
And which one do you play for?
No, I've played for a few teams. It's one of those things where there's not really much pressure, so it's when I can, I go play. But there's a team that's called Bak FC. So every now and again I show up, but it's one of those things. It's difficult when you got a family now.
Yeah, I want to talk about
Yeah.
that.
But when I was still single, yeah.
No, can we just pass by it?
Yeah.
No shade to the wife or what?
Yeah.
How does she actually make you not fully enjoy these things?
No, I think it was more my decision because I made a conscious choice to actually be more involved in my kids' lives. So once they were born, that switch just decided, okay, fine, you're spending more time at home. So going out to play soccer and then Mabuza and whatnot, it became secondary.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you also mentioned the issue of rugby. I understand and I know that rugby is a hard contact sport.
Oh, yeah.
And has there anyone who has ever discouraged you from maybe playing or maybe trying to get into it? Because hey, rugby, I know that.
Well, actually, I was the smallest person in my stream, and actually when I did play a bit of club rugby, I was still the smallest. But I guess in my mind, I think I took it as a challenge because so I upped my skill level and looked after myself a bit. But I think there's an ongoing joke which I used to share with my mom that at O level I passed my biology because I broke so many bones. So like I'd break a bone and end up in hospital and the doctor would be like, so what does this bone connect to? And then I'd remember it when it come exam time. But yeah, it was always it was a fascinating challenge, and I enjoyed it. I think in high school. Yeah.
And you also mentioned the issue of athletics. Were you a long distance person or maybe short distance, 100 meters, maybe 200?
I actually was a hard-working athlete. I wasn't a talented athlete.
No. There's a difference.
There's a difference, But I enjoyed watching the talented guys. And so in high school, my athletics was pretty much limited to field events. So I tried your pole vaults, I tried your discus, your shot puts. Running middle distance, I wasn't too bad, but it was a bit too painful for my leg.
Okay, so you just hold on to that thought as we get to the issue of athletics. There you have it. We had his history on how he ventured into the world of sport. Right after the break, we continue the discussion. This is Fans of Africa, where we celebrate sports by giving fans a voice. Welcome back to Fans of Africa. Earlier on he also mentioned the part that he is a family person, and now I see he has his little chap. I want to know how important is it to have your family and being clingy to the kids all the time like that.
I think this is my handbag. That's what everybody calls him.
Okay, he's always with you.
Yeah, he's always with me. My little man. But yeah, I think it's important to connect with the kids because whatever we're doing, whatever experiences we go through, I think we should impart them with them, we should make their lives a bit better and impart that knowledge. So I think he's going to be a better sportsman than me, so because of my experience.
Okay. But would you encourage him to go through rugby? I mean, rugby, for example.
He's way stronger than I was. So.
Okay, now can we get to the world of athletics? You also mentioned that at some point in time you were doing discus and stuff like that. Let's talk about the local athletics for a start.
All right.
It's not doing that much well. Can we talk of that here in Zimbabwe, where our athletics is at the moment?
Well, I think, look, COVID did a number on any progression that we were having. And you found that the few athletes that were there were struggling. So now that we're sort of past the thick patch of COVID, there's a lot of things that are happening in the background. But it will take time because For instance, for example, you had a lot of kids who ended up doing sports in grade 5, but they're now in high school, and or you had people who went through high school without doing sports. So that's a generation of athletes that we will never have, because I think, for my part, I think development has to start early, and unfortunately, what we lack in Zim is we start later on. Somebody finishes high school, then they say, oh, okay, actually, I was fast in high school, let me start working out, and then that's when they begin. Yeah.
So take me back through some memories that you have in the world of athletics, your best memories and your worst memories as well.
I think all the obvious ones are, your actually the worst one I think for me. Let's start with the worst one.
Okay.
I think was when Makusha, not the current one, Ngoni Makusha, pulled his hamstring in an Olympic year when he was at college. I think that was the year he broke the Zimbabwe national record. Yeah, I think it was 9.84 seconds. Mm-hmm. And that was the year that he was going to run against Usain Bolt, who hadn't yet broken the record.
Yeah.
And, so had he run that year, I think he would have had the first medal, was it? I think, yeah, the first medal in 100 meters.
You sound like there was a possibility of him doing well better than Usain Bolt.
If you look at the time,
yes,
he would have been probably in the top 3.
Okay.
Top 3, top 4, top 3, just there.
Okay, and then the good memories, of course.
Good memories. I'd say if I go back to high school, that'll be cheating. But I guess no. Watching Usain Bolt do 9.58. Look, it's tough to beat that in athletics. It's like I said, I have an academic background, and I did physics. So when you then look at all of that, you're thinking 9.58 seconds, a human being.
First time I've seen that. Chambers in 1, Burns in 2, Bailey in 3, Bolt, the Olympic champion and world record holder in 4, Gay, the defending champion in 5, Powell, the fast man who usually fails to deliver in 6, Patton in 7, Thompson in lane 8. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. 9.58. The world record's gone. That's more like it.
So talking of Usain Bolt, I would want to ask you this one. Yeah. Who is your favorite of all time? Usain Bolt and Maurice Green, and why?
Usain.
Why?
Because he's the perfect specimen. Why I say specimen is. Look, it's rare to have that kind of talent, physical attributes, and commitment to an event that sort of aligns. Because usually you have one or the other, but not all. But he seemed to have a great mix of it, where he actually put in the hard work. Like I said, when I was a hard-working athlete, so I know the ethos of hard work, but I wasn't the talented one.
Okay.
The most talented ones would be sitting back, I'm gonna come and just come on running day and just blow all of you away.
Well, so talking of the issue of Olympics and stuff like that, do you have something that you feel like if we grasp those concepts from Olympics and put them here in Zimbabwe, we can do well in the world of athletics? Or where are we going a little bit, lagging behind in the world of athletics?
I think it's the problem is we put more emphasis at the top end, where we should be putting more emphasis at the bottom end. If you look at, for example, people say, no, Zim, there's not enough money, etc., etc. But if you look at Jamaica, year in, year out, they're producing. And I would argue that maybe Jamaica and Zimbabwe's GDP, you might be able to, So it's a question of culture, so rather than money. So I think we should be having more national events at the junior levels and encouraging more kids to take part. Then you follow up and develop those youngsters.
Wow. So talking of Zim context right now, who do you think is your favorite? Okay, who do you think is the best athlete so far? A female and a male, and why? Oh, your favorite. When we say the best, people always get it. No, you can't be the best. Your favorite.
Like I said, look. We're restarting, and after the last Olympics, you had Ngoni Makusha Current, who came. Although I would argue, I'd like to challenge him. I'd argue that there are faster people out there than him, so he has to really push through that 10.17 of his and break into the nines. But look, in terms of work ethic, I think I've seen him work out. I think he's probably one of the best sprinters we have right now, and I'd say yeah, Ngoni Makusha is one. On the females, our track athletes, you know, there's just a lot of talent spread around. I mean, if you go to UZ, there's a few athletes there who maybe with the right motivation can then spring into the next level. But other than that, it's all grassroots now. I think it's all grassroots.
Okay. So right now, let's say we give Fidelis a position or a post in whatever you would want to say it is responsible for the athletics in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
What is it that you're going to start by addressing, and where do you think it's supposed to be addressed?
Give me a post and $1 million. I'll bring you medals. Yeah, you know?
Yes, in how. Now it's all about how. Yes.
The how. No, yeah. Look, like I said, I keep going on and on about grassroots. That's where I'd go. Look, there are 10 provinces, and I'd like to believe that Harare and Bloyo aren't the only two.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, you've got oodles of talent. Not in those metropolitan areas. So I would start by maybe saying academies that identify talent and then groom it, give scholarships to the right people, you know, and then develop the talent. So I think that's one of those things that I would do. Grassroots, academies, identify 10 provinces, maybe make 5 academies and grow from there. And then have like 4-year plans to the next Olympics.
Yes, and then talking of that, in that context, so if let's say we have achieved that, where do you see Zim Athletics maybe in the next 5-6 years?
Look, Zim is a painful place in terms of sport because we have so much talent, and despite whatever we go through, the talent just keeps on coming and coming and coming. I mean, look, for instance, look at soccer. You have Bill Antonio. I mean, he's 19, but he's playing for Zimbabwe. But he's only the tip of the iceberg. How many other, 19-year-olds, given the opportunity, would rise above that? And this is true of all sports, especially athletics. You are where there's a lot of talent at under 16, under 15 level, but just needs a bit of a push.
Hello, welcome back. You're still watching Fans of Africa, and I'm joined by Fidelis. And right now, we are now discussing the issue of rugby. So, Fidelis, tell me, which one is your favorite rugby team of all time?
I'd have to say the Chiefs from New Zealand.
From New Zealand.
Yeah. I think they play a certain way, which I like, which I enjoy, I think outside of the continent, the Chiefs from New Zealand would be my team.
Okay, so can we talk of your favorite memories of the Chiefs from New Zealand all the time?
I'd say watching Chiefs play Crusaders.
Just 2 weeks ago, the Chiefs stunned the Crusaders in Christchurch. Now they make a long-awaited return home, aiming for back-to-back wins over the champions of Super Rugby.
It's always a very interesting game because you've got the Crusaders who innovate quite a bit. Like, for instance, right now, the modern playing styles all come from Crusaders. So those are the two teams that I would say, when they play together, it's a very good memory either way. So I would say that's one of those.
And also, let's talk of local rugby. Which is your favorite team in Zimbabwe and your favorite player in Zimbabwe as well?
Let me be biased. Okay, long time ago, like 100 years ago, when I used to be able to play the sport, I played for Harare Sports Club, so they were my favorite club at the time. But now there's a new kid on the block called Pit Bulls, who I'm very close at heart to. But so I would say, and they're still undefeated. So I would say Pitbull's under 20 team is my favorite team right now.
And your favorite player?
Favorite player?
Yes.
I'd say the current stable called Blythe. I think he's fire. So I like him because he's a pure sports person. You know, he represents the good things about sports and hard work. So I think he's a good role model, and I think it goes hand in hand, role model and being a great sports person. So I think he captions that pretty well.
Okay, so can we talk of rugby's performance, like the Zim rugby in general? Do you think we're doing well, or we're still lagging a little bit behind in the world of rugby in Zimbabwe?
Look, Zim is one of those prodigal sons, you know, that has a lot of talent. You know, we start off hot and then we produce a lot of talent. I mean, look, if you must know, we've got we've got the beast, the likes of the beasts, you know, who played for Springboks. But we've got, you know, others who played for Italy, who played for Wales, who played everywhere else but Zimbabwe.
So, you know, talking about the beast, last week we featured a fan who also had something to say on the issue of producing players in Zimbabwe who do well on the international stage for other countries. As a fan, how does that make you feel, that we're doing good in producing better players, but they're doing great things for other countries, not for their own?
It's let me put it this way: it's like a song with a great intro, but guitar you know, and then everybody walks out of the room. So I think that's where Zimbabwe is lacking. We've got a great intro. If we keep producing, means we're doing something right in terms of, and again, we've got the right kind of people, you know, developing from the structures, whatever structures they are. Because if you must understand, rugby is a sport of passion. You know, a lot of people who are in the grassroots are doing it because of the love. So again, a culture thing, which I sort of mentioned earlier. If we were to continue that throughout to the men's structures, I think Zim would retain a lot more, and you know, we would see the benefits of our talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, talking of some tournaments which has been happening lately, we can talk of the Sevens happening this week, and we can talk of this weekend, talking of the Cheetahs. What is your prediction on this regional tournament?
Look, I'm a big fan of Cheetahs because, you know, I've either rubbed shoulders or I know some of the youngsters who played or who are playing in that tournament. So I think they'll do well. Cheetahs has been very consistent. I think of all the rugby teams, like I said, rugby producers, and Cheetahs has managed to retain some of their players and prop them up. So the funny thing about Sevens is that in the region, outside of South Africa, Zim has got a lot more people involved in it around the region. So, like for instance, you've got a club called Sparta somewhere in our neighbor Botswana, and then you've got the Zambia team, you know, has got a lot of Zimbabwean influence as well. So if you look at it that way, I would say that's the top three for me. Cheetahs, Spartas, Zambia, and Zambia is somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Fidelis, so talking of the tournament that is happening this weekend, I know some Cheetahs players and, you know, some representatives from the Cheetahs are watching or might be watching right now. What words of advice would you want to give them to this tournament?
Well, look, your role models. You know, that's where my thing is always. Let's say, you know, look, this tournament is one of the biggest tournaments that we've had in a while, especially this end of this side of the year, because usually most tournaments happen at the end. But so there's a lot of eyes there, and look, be the best that you can be on the field and off the field, because a lot of kids are looking at you guys beyond just the jersey. So, you know, represent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, if you're one of the fans who would love to feature on Fans of Africa, don't hesitate to contact 3KTV on all their social media platforms and let us know where you are, and we'll definitely reach out to you. Thanks so much for watching Fans of Africa, where we celebrate sports by giving fans a voice. Till we meet again next time, my name is Christian Kwaramba. I know you always get that wrong, and be kind to one another. I'm out.